Hi everyone! Today I'm doing a champ while... No, I have to say no, Phoenix. Sorry, I'm doing a champ. So today I'll be doing a little video about clubs while I do this champ. So right now I'm doing the Fort Pinta champ, which is the last champ of the day. And I hope I get a ribbon. I don't think I'm gonna. So I'll just be talking about some ideas for club restrictions and club requirements that I think would be good for your club if you own one. And I'm in 3rd place. Okay, so the first thing that I think would be really good for a requirement is you have to require people to have the outfit beforehand. So, what I do with my club, I'm doing a champ Phoenix, I'm sorry. What I do with my club is, even though I haven't opened applications yet for other people, I just add people in by interview. But when I do, what I'm going to do with my club is, when people are trying to get in, they have to have the club outfit beforehand. So that is one of my rules. The next rule tip I have for you is, and I'm not doing a voiceover, so I'm trying to talk while I'm champing. But back to the point. The next tip I have for you is you have to have at least a maturity restriction. So even though you might not want an age restriction, like for my club, we do not have an age restriction. You can be any age. The age restriction is basically the star stable age restriction. So whatever age you are when you're playing the game, you're allowed to be in the club. The only restriction we have is a maturity restriction. You have to know spamming is not okay. You have to have a good background with clubs in terms of knowing that club hopping is not okay. You have to have a good reputation in Star Stable, not necessarily good, but if you're known for like being rude in global or spamming in global, then I will not let you in my club. There are certain people, and I'm not going to say their username, but there are certain people in global that I see that I know I will never let into my club because they're spammers or maybe they've caused drama in the past. So even if you don't want an age restriction requirement, like an age restriction, you have to at least have a maturity restriction, and you have to be active in global so that you know who not to let into your club and who you can let into your club. The next tip I have for you is to have level restrictions. So this applies for dressage clubs specifically. I found this a big factor in dressage and your gaps in dressage. Not just your horse's level matters and your horse's mood matters. That matters a lot. But what also matters a lot is your rider level, especially for dressage clubs, but for any clubs too. You have to have some restrictions with level. If most of your club members are level 17, you can't go ahead and let a level 4 player into your club, much less a non-star rider. You can't let non-star riders into your club unless you have a club specifically for non-star riders, because otherwise half of the events the non-star rider in your club will not be able to come to because maybe it's at Silverglade or Epona. You have to have level restrictions and star rider restrictions unless you want to be a club for non-star riders, and just a no requirement club, and that's okay too. But if you want a dressage club or a strict club, you have to have level requirements, and you have to make sure all your members are at least 1 month star rider, preferably lifetime. Another tip is to have another tip for requirements is to make sure everyone has the club horse, and make the club horse a 1 coat color or 2 coat color club horse. What I mean by this is when I first started my club, the club horse was a Percheron. It didn't matter what color it was, and I didn't care what color it was. It could just be any color, and you'd be allowed in the club. I have tons of members. When my club horse was the Percheron, I had tons of members who didn't even have the Percheron, and I didn't tell them what coat color to get because I didn't really care. But then the dressage lines look super sloppy and funny. They look kind of like noob dressage lines because everyone has a different coat color of a horse, and at one point it just starts to look really messy. So you have to have 1 or 2 coat color options. For instance, my club horse is the Red Roan York Pony, and only the Red Roan. The substitute horse for it is that gray pony with the white mane. You can do that instead, but we prefer the Red Roan. So I only have 2 coat colors for them to choose from, so that way it makes the lines look much neater, and it doesn't make them look kind of like you're riding all different kinds of horses, breeds of horses, because even though you might be riding the same breed, if it is a different color, it might look really sloppy and bad. The last requirement restriction tip I have for you is you have to know the discipline of the club before you're allowed in the club. If it's a dressage club, you can't allow someone in who doesn't know an A curl, or doesn't know comb or wave, or doesn't even know what dressage means. You have to test and interview your members, if not do a whole entire testing process before you let them in, because you can't have a non-star rider level 4 who doesn't know what dressage even means be in your dressage club. Same for jumping. You can't have anyone in your jumping club if they do not enjoy or know how to do show jumping. Same with hangout clubs. If they'd rather do dressage than just hang out, if they don't like to be in clubs, if they cause drama and they don't like to have fun with clubs, you can't let them into your hangout club. If you have a racing club, you can't have someone who doesn't have any ribbons for a champ in your club. So you have to interview them and get to know them before you put them into your club. You can't just invite anyone, because I did that on my alt account and there's no drama there. But people are leaving all the time, and people do not want to do the discipline that others want to do, because on my alt account, I just invite anyone to my club, see how it feels, and there isn't any drama. that people are constantly leaving the club, not wanting to do the discipline. It's not even a club. It's just a waste of star coins. If you don't let the right people in, and if you let the wrong people in your club, it's just a waste of star coins. If you let inactive people in your club, it's just a waste of star coins. That brings us to one last thing. You have to have active members. You should have a rule that says be with the club at least 2 times a week. Be online at least 2 to 3 days a week, preferably 7 days a week. Because if you don't do that, then you're going to show up to instruct dressage, and 2 of your members are going to be there. Or maybe even 1. And if there's only 1 member that's going to be active, then you can't even call out a wave because there's only 1 person. So you have to have active members, and not only active members, but you have to have members willing to be with the club. There are lots of clubs I know that have a lot of members, but none of the members want to do activities with the club. Like I said on my alt account, all my members, I have so many members in that club, and they're so active, but when they're online, they never want to do the club activity. They just want to do their own thing and train their horse by themselves, do championships by themselves, and things like that. You have to make sure your members are actually good club members and they're willing to come to club events. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I did get a new ribbon. Thank you so much, my horse, Thunder Chaser, aka Lightning, for getting me a first place and now second place ribbon. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!